So C2 starts tomorrow night. I love tournament wrestling. I've always loved tournament wrestling. I love a round robin. I certainly tried. Not that I was high enough up in the world to make any headway on this, but I had an entire G1 pitch in WWE. I thought it could make house shows matter more. I thought if you didn't want to beat someone important in the tournament, in the round robin tournament, you do it on a house show instead. And they did some of that stuff. Like they did some of those qualifiers, whatever. They did them on house shows for the women a few months back. Was the King Ring qualified? They did some of the like that right there. Now you've made the live events matter. You're telling people, and I get it. Look, they'd advertise, oh, Cody's going to defend the title against Solo Sikoa in a cage. Yeah, he ain't going to lose. But if you tell me that stuff that was set up on TV is now going to specifically lead to a match with stakes on a house show, I have more reason to be there. Now, look, I know there are people that go no matter what, and maybe we'll see the IC title change hands, or, maybe Cody will lose to Solo on the main event of a Boise, Idaho house show. That's never going to happen. You're selling based on the names, but my whole thing was you do 6 and 6, right? So everybody's got to have 5 matches, which is what AEW is going to do, I guess, over the next month. WWE does that with Raw, SmackDown, even NXT. You use the house shows. You film the house shows. You show a couple of big moves in the finish. Over the weekend, Kofi Kingston beat Karrion Kross to earn 3 points in his block. I thought it could work. There was a big upset over the weekend. Carmelo Hayes beat, I don't know, Jacob Fatu, something like that. I don't know. Chad Gable was able to get one over on Sami Zayn in that bracket over the weekend. Oh, okay. And now he's got something to talk about on Raw, and the announcers have something to talk about. You can have updates with the stats and all that, and it's not hard to follow. And I saw people bitching about this last year. Here's what AEW does for the C2. If you win, you get 3 points. If you lose, you earn no points. If you go to a time limit draw, you have 1 point. You will wrestle 5 matches. Whoever has the most points goes to the finals. You face the other block, or in AEW's case, league, blue and gold they have. You face whoever won there. There are tiebreakers. There are, if me and you are tied, but I beat you when we faced 101, I have that. So you have people fighting for something. You have people trying to play spoiler. Daniel Garcia last year, Brody King. Fighting hard in the tournament. Can't win. Finally wins. And if Brody had won, Brody would have, hit the top of his table. Nope. Instead, Garcia wins. So Brody's pissed about that. Garcia gets a nice win. You tell those stories. Mark Briscoe beats Jay Lethal at the end. All right, it's 2 friends who won a battle, and it's that way. You had tiebreakers last year. You ended up with Moxley and Kingston in the final. Eddie got to beat Danielson, and he beat Kingston. Now, another story this year. Eddie won it last year. You know who he lost to, though? Brody King. That's the thing about these tournaments, is that you can set up matches for the future after the tournament's over. If a couple people pin Daniel Garcia, well, he's TNT champion. That right there is an automatic, to me, way to get him a title shot. The G1 has done that for years. When the champions have been in, typically they will lose once, maybe twice, or a draw. And whoever they lose to typically doesn't win the G1, has a strong G1, but then goes, hey, I beat you in the tournament. I lay claim to a title opportunity, a title match. Will Okada run the table? We will see. If Garcia loses, who does he lose to? What does that set up? There are these kind of things in there that they can go to. You can set up other things out of this tournament, but every match has meaning before the tournament even starts. I love tournament wrestling. I love the battle. I love the idea of having to battle through injury. I think there is a story to tell with Daniel Garcia getting hurt in his first match, whoever that's going to be against. and battling through that injury, or Ospreay coming off of, a very physical battle with Kyle Fletcher. How is he going to have his caliber of matches 5 times? How can he pull that off? How can he be Will Ospreay coming in at less than 100% in a grueling tournament? A lot of the stuff's built in. Who's going to be a standout that maybe we didn't expect? Is it Beast Mortos? Do I think he's going to win his bracket, his league? No, but he's going to get in there with some people he hasn't been in there with yet. And he's going to get a nice spotlight. And you can use the tournament to spotlight people and get them over. Takeshita got that in the G1 this year. He didn't win, but he had a hell of a tournament. And I think that momentum has led to where he's at now in AEW as the international champion. So I look forward to tournaments. I look forward to picking tournaments. I always like that. And you kind of work backwards because that's how you have to book these things. You got to figure out who wins. You got to figure out what the finals are. And then you got to work backwards and you got to figure out, okay, how many points do they score? How do we make these matches at the end matter? All of that stuff it's a lot of math. It's a lot of backwards thinking. When I used to do G1 pick'ems with friends and old podcast listeners, stuff like that, we'd pick the whole tournament, which would be, 10 in each field or 12 for each field. And you'd have to pick every match. And, you scored for all that stuff. But to pick it correctly, you would basically go, okay, I think this guy's going to win, and it makes the most sense for him to face this guy. So there's my finalist. Well, how did they get there? They got to be the top scoring points guys in each one of their pools or brackets or blocks or whatever. All right, so I got to now make sure that they win the most match or earn the most points. We work back from there. All right, how do I make these matches at the end, work in a tiebreak or something? Okay, it takes a lot of work to put that together and to book it correctly, and you got to hope for no injuries and all that kind of stuff. So it ain't easy to do, but when it's done well and you don't have any issues with injuries, it's an automatic, I think, built-in way to make all of those people in the tournament matter more than maybe they did. Hey, this is Matt Camp. Thanks for checking out one of our recent clips from the Wrestling Mat. Why is someone so close to The Rock kind of throwing Cody under the bus?
Yeah, a lot of people won't engage with Jim Cornette. I did, just because I have a mark for Jim Cornette.
Please subscribe right now. Hit the like and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I think you should listen to your TV partners. Let me tell you about WWE and a little insight. More subscribers means more content. And make sure you follow us on social media at WrestlingMat23 on both Twitter and Instagram.